Nottingham Forest have gone big to start their Premier League recruitment and broken their transfer record. Taiwo Awoniyi is the first name in the door at Forest, a 24-year-old Nigerian striker arriving from Union Berlin in Germany. Transfer fees are never made public these days, but the Forest website does say it's a club record, so it's more than that eye-watering fee paid for João Carvalho in 2018, with reports suggesting around 17 to 18 million has been spent on the Nigerian. Awoniyi was with Liverpool from the age of 18, and like a lot of their youngsters, it was loan after loan after loan. He went off to Belgium, Netherlands, and in the main, Germany. That last loan was at Union Berlin in the 2020-21 season, and then he signed permanently last year for around £8 million. Union finished 5th in the German Bundesliga last season. Awoniyi scored 15 times in 29 starts, making him their top scorer and coming 6th in the whole division in that Golden Boot race. He's a Nigerian international, but remember, they are not going to the World Cup in the winter. Forest's attack has clearly been a work in progress. They started last season with Championship stalwarts Lyle Taylor and Lewis Grabban being utilised. Throughout the season, that developed, obviously with the emergence of Brennan Johnson, as well as the mid-season arrivals of Sam Surridge on a permanent and Keinan Davis on loan. From what I saw of Forest last season, they were at their most effective with Keinan Davis up top, and he was a bit of a battering ram up there, and he allowed a lot of Forest's other good attacking players to come and get on the ball and utilise their strengths. Brennan Johnson could run off him and join him with Jed Spence down that right-hand side. James Garner could come and join him from midfield, as could Philip Zinkernagel from that sort of number 10 position. Now, I won't pretend to be a Bundesliga connoisseur. I'm not, but there is a very good compilation of Awoniyi's goals from last season. I will link that there, but you've got to promise to come back and finish this video if you're going to watch that. He does look to have some similarities with Keinan Davis in terms of sort of strength and physicality. Maybe not quite as brutish, but what I will say is finishing looked absolutely on point. And forgive me for stating the bleeding obvious, but we all know how hard promoted teams find scoring in the Premier League compared to the Championship. I'll give my thoughts on the deal imminently, but please first just do us a favour, hit that like button and help support the channel. There was a definite need to address the attacking roster, and Forest have done that immediately. The proof will obviously be in the pudding as to how he fares. I do generally think, though, strikers playing in promoted teams get a bit of a rum deal in football speak, as automatically the team's going to have less of the ball and create less chances, particularly coming from a 5th place, Bundesliga finishing side. What I have learned from covering the Championship and following teams after promotion is that if you're not going to improve on what you've got already, you may as well not bother. And by that, I mean invest at the level and quality that other Premier League teams are doing around you, else there isn't much point and you may as well go with what's there. Just expanding on that point, I remember last season saying of Norwich that, look, they probably need to go and break their transfer record a couple of times to get closer. They didn't, and they were bottom once again. Not to say that spending big guarantees success. It doesn't. It has to be the right players in the right system. And I think the big fees Sheffield United dropped on McBurney and Brewster would certainly back up that argument. But, again, I'll reiterate my point. Clubs that want to be in the Premier League long term don't hedge their bets in terms of signings. And you do have to kind of go for it a little bit, else you get chewed up and spat out pretty quickly in the Premier League. So with all of that being said, I like the signing and I like what it stands for. Awoniyi is a good age, and the fact that he's performed very well in a top European league last season really means, in terms of calibre, none of the existing Forest squad can really hold a candle to where he's been and what he's done, which makes it a clear upgrade on what is there already. It seems to fit the way the Forest side worked last season, and I acknowledge that is on the basis of looking at some stats and watching a few compilation clips. And I like the ambition of it. Forest have been away from this echelon of football for a long time. If they want to play with the big boys and they want to stay there, they're going to have to act like them. And this signing would be a drop in the ocean for most Premier League clubs. And I'm not talking about the top end. I'm talking about just the ones operating in the middle and that survival area that Forest, frankly, will be looking at this season. Let me know your views down there in the comments. How do you think Taiwo Awoniyi will get on at Forest up in the big league? And look, there's going to be more players going in there. Where do Forest need to strengthen to be competitive next season? If you want to stay with the channel, you watch some more Forest related content. I was at 2 of their 3 playoff games at the back end of last season. So click right here to have a look at the semi-final first leg, and here for my vlog of their lovely day out at Wembley that guaranteed them promotion up to the Premier League.